Hi guys, back once again for another video, and yes, I've adopted the full Lex Luthor. It's summer after all, just get rid of it, I don't need it. So yes, I'm doing another top 5 list, and this time it's the top 5 episodes of the original series of Star Trek. Given the paraphernalia that surrounds me, you'd have thought the original series of Star Trek I would have done quite early on, but I don't know why, but it's taken me a while to get to it, but it's here now. And I have to say, when compiling a top 5 list, look, there's a reason why I do a top 5 and not a top 10. And the reason being is that most people really don't give a hoot about the first 5. It's normally what's in the top 5 people really sort of care about. And normally I don't even do honourable mentions, but I've been asked to do honourable mentions, and so with this, I found it very easy. Very easy to do honourable mentions, not so easy to do a top 5 list, however. Because when I started writing down the names of episodes that I thought should be in the top 5, I got to like 16 or 17 episodes, and I was like, ooh, my shopping list isn't that long. So, let's do the honourable mentions for the original series of Star Trek, shall we? And I've got The Conscience of the King. About Kodos the Executioner, about a vicious dictator that slaughters thousands of people and then goes into exile. Good story, good story. I like that. Whom Gods Destroy is another episode about Captain Garth, the captain that goes mad, with Yvonne Craig as I think she's an Orion slave girl. She's green anyway. That's a kind of an interesting episode. The Enterprise Incident, The Immunity Syndrome, Mirror Mirror, The Corbomite Maneuver, Tomorrow is Yesterday, and this is the one that's going to really kick up a lot of dust. City on the Edge of Forever. I know. I understand, right? But it didn't make it into my top 5 list. Let me explain, okay? I've never felt the need to explain an honourable mention. But City on the Edge of Forever didn't make it into my top 5 list, and it's a very good reason for it. As good as City on the Edge of Forever is, I find it to be more of a Captain Kirk story than a Star Trek story. And that's all it came down to, was the fact that when I decide to watch an episode of Star Trek, I like the ensemble stuff. I like the whole Enterprise, Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Scotty, Uhura, Chekhov, Sulu. I like that dynamic. And when you talk about City on the Edge of Forever, it is a love story for Captain Kirk. And as good as it is, I just couldn't put it into the top 5. But it's amongst good company, I think, in the honourable mentions. And with that being said, I better have a hell of a top 5 list. I think I do, though. I think it's pretty good. So my number 5 episode of Star Trek the original series is The Trouble with Tribbles. I think I've done well there. I think I've done well. Yeah, I didn't put City on the Edge of Forever in, but The Trouble with Tribbles I think is a good one to stick in the top 5 list and deserves to be in the top 5. The story, a light-hearted romp comedy with the Enterprise crew approaching K7 that have to protect shipments of grain for the Sherman's planet, the development of Sherman's planet on the Federation Klingon border. It's a lot of good fun, it's a lot of good comedy, lots and lots of little good moments. Like, for example, you get to find out, a little bit more about Uhura. That she's working all the time, that she hardly ever takes shore leave, all this sorts of things. There's lots of little character moments in this episode. It's fantastic and good bit of fun. The only problem with Trouble with Tribbles is it's hard to watch without envisioning the Deep Space Nine crew running around. But that is my number 5, and I think that's a decent number 5. My number 4 in the Star Trek the original series is Amok Time. This is the episode where Spock goes bonkers and tries to kill Kirk. And again, it's one of those stories that there's a lot of There's a lot of information being given to us about the Vulcans. There's a lot of information. It's the first time we actually see Vulcan, and we see more about the Vulcan society, and it's not just all about logic. There's Vulcan mysticism, and we get to see more of the ancient Vulcan. Then we get to see Mount Solea. We get to see this whole arena and Vulcan customs stuff from. I think they describe it as thousands of years in Vulcan's past. It's really, really, really interesting stuff, and it's good to see sort of Spock just step up a little bit more in the action side of Star Trek, because normally Spock just sort of Vulcan neck pinches people, and that's pretty much all you ever see out of him. So Mock Time, cracking little episode, and it was really good for Leonard Nimoy, I think. That's my number 4. Number 3, Balance of Terror. I believe this episode was based on Run Silent, Run Deep. It's just another good story. It's a story about a cat and mouse game between the Romulan commander, played by Mark Leonard, and Kirk. And it's back and forth. The Romulans have this new cloaking device and this new weapon that they're testing out, and they've demolished star bases along the neutral zone, and the Enterprise is in pursuit. And it's just an all-round, for what you get out of a 45-minute episode, I think Balance of Terror does a damn fine job. And that's my number 3. My number 2 is the Galileo 7. And you know what? Like I said, this was a real tough time. This was the toughest list I've ever had to compile. But the Galileo 7, I think, is a great story. Spock takes a landing party down to a planet, or crash lands on a planet, I should say. They have to survive, and they're using all their skill and wit and all their intellect to try to stay on top. There's a lot of aggravation amongst the crew that are on the planet. There's a lot of trouble with the Enterprise trying to find the Galileo, because as Kirk says, you know, in all that, you know, we're trying to find a 25-foot shuttle. It shows Spock really sort of stepping up to the level of command, and it's just a bit of good fun. It's just Star Trek really sort of at its level. And that's my number 2. And my number 1 for top 5 episodes of Star Trek the original series, The Doomsday Machine. Look, say what you like about my top 5 list, okay? If you agree with it or disagree with it, whatever, right? The Doomsday Machine, in my opinion, is the one Star Trek story that I do not understand why they haven't made a big budget film of. I don't get it. It's so simple. You have this huge, enormous, gigantic monster machine that is slaying solar systems. This is epic scale stuff. You don't have to even explain where it comes from. They don't. In the episode, it's just this killer machine that is nailing its way through the quadrant, and the Enterprise has to stop it because it's on a direct path through the core of the Federation. It boggles my mind why when people try to adapt other things for movies, like when the way they adapt comic books, the way they adapt books for movies, why the hell they haven't made a big budget movie version of the Doomsday Machine is frankly beyond me. I don't get it. I don't understand it. There's some really class stuff in this episode. William Wyndham making his sacrifice, which gives away the key to how to destroy the Doomsday Machine. I mean, it's just a fantastic episode of Star Trek, and that's my top 5 list. And it is The Trouble with Tribbles, A Mock Time, Balance of Terror, The Galileo 7, and The Doomsday Machine. Let me know what you think of my top 5 list in the comments down below. Also, feel free to like and comment on this video, subscribe to this channel, or share this video if you like. But until next time, I'll see you later, guys.